Hey guys, welcome back to Live at the Roxy. Today we have a guest you guys had been asking for, somebody I was nervous to ask on the show. Look left, look right. He's bringing all of the yucks. It's Mark Ellis.
I am not letting you get away with that. You cheated and you tried to put an A and a U in between the Y and the K. So, Roxy, you have to make a determination. What is your prediction? Is it yucks or is it yaks?
It's because of my Boston accent that they sound the same. So I remember it was an episode of Collider Live where it was the first time I had ever heard whatever the term was, and I was like, "What is that?" I think it was yuck because I remember thinking like that doesn't sound like a joke. And a yak is an animal. I think it's yuck with a U. Yuck with a U. That is my final answer. Regis Philman.
All right. Well, let me get into my Boston accent and see if I'm going to say the word that starts with a Y. Yuck. Yeah, you would say like if for Boston people you could spell it YAWK, but like yuck, but the term is yucks. So you are correct. Is in fact yucks.
What is that? Why is it a yuck?
I think it's just like it's some colloquialism for laughter that just glommed onto comics where it's not giggling, it's not a guffaw, it's yuck. And I think it may have actually started like back in the old, like maybe Shecky Green days, where if you tell a joke and you do like the suspenders thing, you go yuck. So Fozzie Bear has his waka waka, and I guess some other comic had yuck.
What was the other term you just used? A guffaw?
A guffaw is like a hearty laugh. A guffaw is like a deep belly, like whoa. It's like
guffaw. It sounds like a Lion King villain. Guffaw.
Scar has had a few guffaws in his day, and then you have giggles, which is like a nice chuckle. But what you really want to go for is the best of all laughs, which is, are you ready for this? A hearty guffaw.
A hearty guffaw.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. Guffaw.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound natural coming out of my mouth. This is what I've learned about all things comedy. I am so bad at it. Like just everything surrounding the comedic world. I don't know the names of things. Every time you guys talk about comedians, who was it that when I was watching Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and I was like, this character Lenny Bruce, and you guys are like, no, that's a real person. I'm just so bad at it. For somebody who's gone to, I don't know, at least 25 of your shows, if not, and then so many of other people's shows. I go to comedy shows all the time. Why do I suck as a comedy person?
It really is an honor that you waste so many evenings on me coming out to watch me attempt to make audiences either yuck or giggle or guffaw. But I think that you're not bad at stand-up at all, Rox. You enjoy comedy, and that's the most important thing. Whether you're storied in the history of legendary comedians from bygone eras is a different story. Like do you need to know who Lenny Bruce is in order to go to the Comedy Store and have a great night of laughs? No, you don't. Lenny Bruce is instrumental in every comic that's on that stage in some form or another. But for the audience, just go enjoy us talking about whatever the hell we decide to talk about that night.
True story. The first comedy album I ever listened to was Johnny LaQuasto. It was the first time I ever listened to a comedy album, and it was hysterical. And I was like, oh, this is what people are talking about, that they listen to albums of comedy. Like for some reason, I didn't think that would translate with me because I would think I would have to see something. I watch a ton of different specials. That's what they're called, right? Specials.
You nailed it.
Yuck specials. It's like all of a sudden I start questioning myself. I watch everybody's comedy special and I'm like, that's what the word is, right? It's a special.
I think that would be the big albatross for Roxy Stryer. Doing stand-up or enjoying stand-up is having the confidence to follow through, because you have great initial observations and ideas, but it's actually following through and having confidence in your own opinion versus backing off and being like, wait, did I say that right? Did I do that right? Just assume that you're right.
I severely lack exactly what you just said. I mean, that is 100% what the problem is. Like, I'll think of these things and I'll start speaking, and then mid-sentence, I'm like, bail, jump. Where's the life raft? Like I cannot say something and then not like look around and be like, was that an accurate? Are people smiling? Did I say anything right just there? But we might have to test that theory, because one of the few people in my life to actually, I mean, you guys at home, of course, you guys have been amazing, but one of the few people in my life who watched what I did, The World Girls, was Mark Ellis, and he did text afterwards and offer his services. So we might have to try to give stand-up a whirl, and that would be the scariest thing, hands down, number one scariest thing I've ever done.
Well, as soon as you announced the concept of the World Girls, I was like, oh, well, eventually they should try one of two things that I can provide. One of which is stand-up comedy. Is you can do a set. Y'all can each do a set, and then we can either like have the audience judge who did the best, or just everybody does a set and we all celebrate. Or you can do cryotherapy. Once my cryotherapy place opens again, I have a membership that allows me to get any friend in for a free session for their inaugural time. So y'all could all go do cryotherapy too.
I'm super into both of those things. There's like stuff on everybody's. Cryotherapy wouldn't make me nervous. I just would be I mean, I'm cold in LA when it's 60 degrees. So that, I mean, I would be freezing. I'm so bad in the cold, but it doesn't make me scared. There's few things that do. And a few of those are stuff that we're talking about doing on the show. One of them is trying coffee, which I've never tried, which scares the living shit out of me. We've talked about it before, but I have a fear of drinks that you cannot see through. Just stresses me out.
Wow. So do you not go swimming in the ocean unless you can see all the way to the bottom?
I do. I have to be able to see my feet, but I'm not drinking that. I've got a weird drinking of drinks that they're trying to hide themselves, which is sketchy. Like why
but you like milkshakes, right?
No.
Ooh,
no.
Okay. Soup?
No. Soup I like, but you are spooning it. You can see what's happening.
Chowder? Okay.
I love clam chowder. I'm not supposed to eat it though, because everybody knows that I have some serious bowel issues, and that does not do well with me.
See, I wouldn't know if I had serious bowel issues when it comes to clam chowder, because the clams are not making it that far into my body. Like you're not even getting into here.
You hate clams?
No, I'm not a seafood guy at all. When I've been in a relationship, I have managed to get through some sushi dinners, because whoever I was, going out with or dating at the time wanted to go get sushi. And so I can do sushi okay. My thing with sushi is I actually want to make it the healthiest sushi possible, because there's some sushi that like involves fried or something like that.
And cream cheese and stuff. Yeah.
My thing is like, look, this is not like the most enjoyable meal experience for me anyway. So why would I make it unhealthy? I might as well be as healthy as possible while I'm not having the best time.
Yeah. If you're not going to love it, then it's got to be the littlest amount of calories ever. I feel you on that, but I love sushi. I love all seafood. And clam chowder, actually, speaking of relationship food eating, clam chowder was a massive fight in my and Ben's relationship. That was like a huge argument constantly, because I love clam chowder so much. And I would like sneakily eat it, and then I'd be tapped for the night. Like, done. Don't talk to me. Don't touch me. I'm like in the fetal position, because my issues, this is disgusting, but sure, why not? My issues is that I can't go. So when I have things like that and it can't come out, it like in my stomach feels like I'm going to die. And he would be like, why are you doing this to yourself? And like, what's off the table for sure is sex. Like, don't look at me. I don't even want to see anybody, but I would do it very often. Like, I can't help myself. If clam chowder's in the room, I am going to make myself ill, period.
You see, this is why people should be tuning in to Live at the Roxy for medical advice. Is that clam chowder can, in fact, be a laxative if you're a little backed up. So
You can do the best you can. Do the best you can.
I mean, I don't have any like food allergies necessarily, but I have some food sensitivities that I was enlightened by when I was dating Danny Fernandez. Is that she was like, because she is very careful about what she eats and she's very smart about it, so she could kind of like maneuver me through it. And she's like, yeah, I think you might have a sensitivity to dairy, because if I'd eat like a lot of cheese or something, then I would break out on my face. And then I eliminated cheese from my diet, and like no more breakouts whatsoever. But I also understand people who are lactose intolerant still having the need to just say, I'm going to suck it up for tonight. I'm going to order a large pizza. I'm going to do it. It's going to happen, and I'm going to get through it by Monday, but I need to have pizza in my life.
Yeah. The thing is, we know the problems. We just don't care enough. Like, for some reason, the part in your brain when you're like, no, I'm gonna eat this even though I know I'm gonna be suffering later, it's not that thought process. It's just like a fuck it, you only live 1 second, and every time I regret it, but I do it again the next time. It's such a strange thing.
Well, here's what's interesting for you, though, is that you might find, and this is going to be a very interesting filming process. So my heart goes out to your director, Cameron Rice. If he's filming the coffee episode, coffee does things to people, Rox. And it may, if you're backed up, coffee may be your new favorite morning beverage. I'm just putting it out there. It could be your new go-to in the morning.
I hear that from people. What's it called? Like a diuretic?
It's a diuretic.
That's the thing that I questioned myself. I knew I'd be right.
Tea, which I made myself. I brewed my own iced tea.
See, I drink tea too, but it's light enough you can kind of see through it. You'd brew your own iced tea? What do? You just make hot tea and then you put ice in it?
That's exactly what I did. When you put it that way, Rox, it really kind of submerges my attempt at proving that I'm a culinary master. I also made cilantro lime rice this week.
Wow.
And I made ground beef. The problem I have with this home quarantine and cooking a lot more for myself is that it's not the actual cooking. I'm pretty good at the cooking. It's the plating. So what happens is I will make all the stuff on the stove, and then instead of being an adult and putting the food from the stove onto the plate and then eating dinner, I just eat it right from the stove. So it's kind of,
do you have a washing machine
around anybody?
Do you have a washing machine? Not a clothes one, a dishwasher.
Oh, you're not supposed to put clothes in? Oh, I've been doing it wrong. God damn it. That's why I smell so funky.
I couldn't have phrased that more poorly. I just wanted to know if you have a dishwasher, because if you have a dishwasher and you're not using plates, you're just being straight lazy. Like,
I have these certain white trash tendencies. Like, this is even a big step for me because I'm drinking this out of a glass because your show is classy. And to all the fans out there is no gum in here because I respect Roxy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I prefer to eat with plastic. I prefer to eat with plastic utensils, with plastic cups. I prefer to drink out of a plastic thing. I don't do well with fine dishware.
I feel like you don't give yourself enough credit. You would be a great fine dishware user. I can see it now. Like one day on your gravestone, years and years down the line, he used a damn good fine dish.
Here lies Mark. He put his clothes in a dishwasher.
I didn't, just as I was saying it, I was like, it's a dishwasher. It's a washing machine of dishes. They should call a washing machine something different.
I got a dishwasher. I have a washer dryer in unit, which is so clutch in Los Angeles. I have multiple friends relying on me currently to do their laundry because they don't have a washer dryer, and it's annoying to go to the bank and get quarters in this day and age. So I'm taking care. I'm doing a lot of like housework, and I'm doing a lot more chores than I thought I would.
I also have a washer dryer in unit. I don't have any of the other things. I do not have a dishwasher. I do not have air conditioning. It is my one mandatory thing when looking for an apartment. It is my number one thing. I do laundry 5 times a week. Legitimately 5 times a week. Like, I'm a psycho about the laundry. Psycho. I can't not do it. So I feel you. And I also have people who are dropping laundry here because it's a pain in the ass for people who have to go to laundromats right now. It's not safe. one of my amazing moderators, Brandy, works at a laundromat, and she's just talking about how scary it is for everybody to be coming in. And I feel so bad for the people who work there, but I also feel bad for the people who have to go there. So if you're my friend, I'll do your laundry.
Brandy's awesome, by the way. But I will say this: I feel like laundromats are the all-time biggest lie in romantic comedies, because virtually every rom-com at some point has a scene where the young guy or gal goes to the laundromat and they end up striking a conversation or having some funny interaction with somebody at the laundromat, and then love starts to blossom. I have been to many laundromats. I didn't always live in a place with a washer dryer. I've been to at least 4 different laundromats in the greater Los Angeles area. I never even had anybody look me in the eye, Rox. I don't even know if I ever had human contact at a laundromat. Wait, what am I missing?
I don't know. There is something really sexy about a laundromat, though. Yeah, and maybe it is because of the rom-coms, but you know what? I think that laundromats are sexy, and what is even sexier than a laundromat? A car wash. Oh,
okay.
I think the drive-through car washes. I've never said this part out loud, so who knows if anybody can relate. But when you drive through a car wash and it's got all the suds going and it turns like pink and blue, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think you're making this very dirty, Rox. So you seem to be insinuating that while you're doing the drive-through car wash, you should have like a quick Pound Town session in the actual vehicle while it's being washed.
Vehicle, like I only drive through car washes by myself, but I'm like feeling myself in those moments. I'm like, damn, this car wash is hot right now.
So you're saying as the outside of the car gets clean, the inside is getting so dirty.
Yes, Mark, that is exactly what I'm saying. But I should probably speak less words and see what the people have to say right now, so I don't get myself in trouble. Let's head over to the soup.
Don't eat clam chowder while you're doing the drive-through.
Oh my God, that's disgusting. I just thought about what that would actually look like, and I don't even want to. Larry Lee says, come on, guys, hit that like button. Thank you for pimping me out, Larry. I appreciate it so that I don't have to. Agreed, though, hit the like button. He also said, Roxy and Mark, 2 of the greatest Schmodown stars. Mark, am I a Schmodown star?
Absolutely. You're the rock star. What are you talking about? You might be the brightest Schmodown star that we have.
Just wanted to hear you say it. I also saw that you went on a bit of a Schmodown venture this week, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, you know that I crave attention, and I really do miss announcing the Schmodowns. It's like the things that I miss are obviously doing stand-up and then doing the Schmodown. It's a fun thing to announce a trivia matchup. And so I had a good opportunity to do it with Rachel, Brandon, and Alex going to their place because they're all roommates. And so I just thought it'd be like a fun one-off thing. And then as soon as I did it, I've gotten so many like texts and DMs from people saying, hey, when can you come to my place? And I'm like, this isn't my new cottage industry. I just thought it'd be a fun video. So maybe it is. Maybe this is my new career.
Honestly, I feel like I've made it very clear that I will never compete. However, if you showed up here and started asking me questions, I would probably have like a wee bit of a panic attack, especially if you started asking me about Aerosmith. We know how I do when you ask me about Aerosmith.
I have one Aerosmith question for you at the end of the show, but it's gonna be fun. And I wanted to put that earworm in your mind now so that you're just
thinking. That's how I feel about you right now. I hate trivia. Shout out to NFL Caleb 22. Appreciate your support. And to Corinne D in here who says, my 2 favorites. Thank you for your content. Mark, you have a serial killer wave.
What, this?
You just are folding your hand?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not my normal wave. That's kind of like my jokey wave. It's not like
yuck.
Yeah, this is if I saw you on the street, I would probably be like, hey. I don't think I'd wave. I would just be like, hey. Like to try to get your attention. But yeah, okay. So there's this movie with Michael Douglas and I think Kathleen Turner in it from the early 90s called Shining Through. And it's like this wartime thriller. And Michael Douglas gets in a fight with Kathleen Turner, I think, at some point during the movie. Don't worry, they make up. But he does this wave. He's walking off, and it's like, F you, or whatever. And he does this walk off. And so he's walking away. And here, I'll turn around and I'll show you. This is what he did. Can you see me?
Yeah,
so
I can.
She's trying to talk to him, and he's walking away. So instead of turning around and yelling at her more, this is what he does. Pretty cool, huh?
Kinda.
The back wave.
I mean, first of all, the coolest part about that whole thing was the back of your hat. or the front of your hat that's on the back of your head.
What hat? Oh, is this the lights out hat?
Yeah. That's the whole reason you just told that story. You just wanted to show us how cool you were.
So I could show you one time David Spade gave me a hat. Hopefully the show lands in a new place, by the way. It's not going to be on Comedy Central anymore, but hopefully it gets picked up somewhere. It's a great format. I've had a blast doing it, and I'd love to do more anytime they need me.
Between being able to watch you do that, watch you with Bill Burr, and watch Josh McCouga for Eating History, I have never felt so famous watching television. Like, I feel more famous when you guys get more famous. Is that the most bizarre thing you ever heard?
We are making you more famous, Rox, and that's what Josh and I talk about all the time. Whenever we have a TV opportunity, we say, look, we need to take this. Even if we don't necessarily want the fame, we need to do this because we need to make Roxy feel more famous.
That is very generous of you.
We're working for you, and just huge congrats to Josh. It's such a rough time for so many people right now, but one of the silver linings in this huge gray cloud we're all going through is that if somebody does have a TV show or a new online show, is that it might get more eyeballs on it because people are kind of quarantined to their homes for the most part. And so Eating History it's just such a fun escape from what's going on with the rest of the world.
Yeah, we had him on right before it premiered, and by we, I mean me.
Yeah. You and your team?
Yeah, well, all the rock stars. And then when I actually watched the show, I was like crying while watching it for a second. I mean, he's just worked so hard, and the show is ridiculously good. Like it's so nice to be able to watch him succeed in that kind of way when he just deserves it so much. And I felt the same way watching you. I mean, I texted you guys both pictures of me watching your shows because like that's such a joy to be able to watch the good people win. Good people win.
That meant a lot to me because I don't really watch myself that much if I'm on TV or anything. But to see somebody like you of your stature take a picture and to know that you wasted 11 minutes of your day or 30 minutes of your night watching something I did on TV, that really means the world to me, because when you're doing it, you're just it's the fun for me isn't actually doing it, is being live in front of whatever the crowd is there. And then the fact that there's cameras and they're taping it and they're putting it up either later that night or a year later or whatever the case may be, that's all stuff for fans. For me, it's just as soon as I'm done with it, I want to maybe celebrate the win for 5 minutes, and then I want to move on to the next opportunity like that because I really can't get enough of it.
Well, it's never a waste. I can't even let you say that, even if you were making a yuck. It's such a great use of my time. But speaking of people having projects out right now and them possibly doing well, I did want to get your thoughts on Quibi, which dropped today, I think was like the big launch. A lot of people that we know, Black Nerd, Mod, a lot of familiar faces popping up. They had so much content. Sophie Turner has a show. Like, they're just huge stars. Have you been able to check out the app at all?
I mean, first of all, that was pretty good chemistry, is that I brought up like the people watching online shows more now. And it was kind of, I felt like maybe Danny Ainge throwing a lob to say you were like a Robert Polish or a Kevin McHale.
Mm-hmm. That is, maybe it's because of the text I sent you to try to tee me up for it. So thank you. Yeah, it was a nice assist.
I searched my closet. Apparently, my Larry Bird jersey is still back at my mom's house in Virginia. I was going to wear the Larry Bird jersey for you. So
I was going to say something about it. But I didn't want to make it awkward because you told me you committed to wearing it and then you didn't show up with it. And that was uncomfortable for me. So
I'm a failure of a human, Rox. You're literally putting the dregs of society on your show. But next time, if I'm lucky enough to get rebooked on this show, hopefully next time I will have the Larry Bird jersey back here where it belongs, in my closet.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Not in your closet, on your body at all times. Okay. You sleep in it. Did you? Well, also, I want to know, did you go out for any of this Quibi stuff? I mean, everybody and their mother. I mean, I went out for like 15 different times or things over there. Were you doing any Quibi things?
I did not. I had kind of a unique situation with a lot of the Quibi stuff, because some companies that I do currently work for were creating some Quibi content and doing some Quibi shows. However, because they wanted me to focus on the shows that I was doing there, they didn't necessarily want me doing a Quibi show and kind of, taking time away from what I was already working on
Makes
at
sense.
said places. So, so I kind of was aware of a lot of the things, and I tried to. I was kind of aware of the casting of some of the Quibi shows, and I tried to throw as many of my friends' names to the powers that be as I could to get people at least auditions or opportunities. But I was very happy to see Maud and Andre get that show, that daily kind of movie news sort of show, because they're very hardworking people. They're very talented, and they've been buddies of mine for a long time. But I think overall, I think this is, I don't see how Quibi doesn't, use this as to their advantage, because like we said, so many people are just glued to social media now because that is the thing to do. And when you're tired of seeing all the toxicity on the Bird website, or you're tired of seeing pictures of your friends who vacationed somewhere last year on Instagram, maybe just go to Quibi and just get your mind off stuff for 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, right now they're also doing, I think it was this could be wrong, but a 3-month free trial. It might have been 30 days, but I think it was 3 months, which is definitely enough time to get people hooked. And when I saw that there's a free trial, I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch my friends. And then probably what's going to happen is they're going to just charge my credit card and I'm not going to be mad at it, which tends to happen to me often. I get so suckered in with free trials. It's something like anything, if it's free, what is it? The food delivery services, like Fresh Daily, whatever, free anything, I'm in. And then I'm just like, okay, take my money. But
I'm such a moron with it because I see free trial, like free 15-day trial, and instantly I'm like, oh, well, this will be free forever. And I give them my credit card, and I give them my home address, and I tell them what my mom's maiden name is, whatever they want to know. I give up all the information if I just see the free trial. I'm such a caveman.
I would think that Quibi would be something that would be of interest to stand-ups because of that. I mean, I don't actually know how shit works, so, and you know that, but because of the 8-minute thing, like, isn't that a nice short, quick bite of a set that people could be putting out? I don't know, like, you can't just upload it, but I would think that would be something that Quibi would be interested in, or stand-ups would be interested in developing.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much a late night set is 4 to 6 minutes is what your set is. And so you could, and Quibi might have already had this, I'm not sure. I know that they were talking to a couple comics about doing something, but I'm not sure if that's just a comic hosting their own show, like, hey, this is what my life is like, or this is my premise, or if it's just actually a bunch of different comics doing sets every night.
Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of doing stand-up, Dustin Dowd says, I've seen Mark do stand-up twice in Connecticut. Hope to see him again. Are you a Connecticut frequenter with your stand-up, Mark?
I've been to Connecticut a couple times because there's a Funny Bone in Hartford, and then I've done, for some reason, usually when I do colleges, they tend to be around the Northeast area. So I'll pop into a random college in like Vermont or New Hampshire or Connecticut. I've done a bunch of colleges there. So, you just, as a comic, you kind of go wherever the wind blows. And now, like in the last couple of years is really when I've started to hone in on, okay, well, I always do well in this market, or I can always sell out a run of shows in this market. But then there's other markets where I'm like, I've just never been able to sell tickets. And so maybe I don't go back to those places. But luckily, Connecticut is one that's always been very supportive. So when this is over, Dustin, I will see you for the third time.
Unlike you, who is a spelling bee champion, I am a notoriously horrific speller. So I still pronounce Connecticut 9 out of 10 times Connecticut because of what I had to do as a kid every single time. Like, there's things like that where Connecticut, or did you ever do oh, you lucky duck? That's how you do should or would or could. Oh, no, you lucky duck, because I could not get that to save my life.
Oh, that makes sense. No, for me, the hardest state for me to still spell is probably Mississippi, because the P's mess me up. Like, I know that it's 4 S's and 4 I's, and then I always get confused where the P's go.
You didn't watch enough Matilda growing up. She had a whole thing about it.
Really?
MISSISSIPPI.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Also, there's like some kind of that's what she said with the I don't know where this P goes. I'm not sure. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'll let you know when I know where the P goes in that joke.
Hey, I'm pretty rusty with my spelling bee skills. I mean, I was really good in sixth grade. That's when I made it to regionals, and then seventh grade, I was like the number one seed at my school, and I just totally shit the bed and like went out in like the second round. So and it's all been downhill ever since. Rocks. Today, I think I was typing something on social media or texting someone, and I wanted to write connoisseur, and it took me like nine and I like it was hard just to get autocorrect to tell me that it thinks I'm trying to spell connoisseur.
That's
It took
the
like 9
story
tries.
of my life when you're not even close enough for somebody to try to figure out what you're trying to say. That is me all of the time. I like the fact that, okay, connoisseur, CONAS, CONAS,
Nope. And now you tell us
AUR,
what are you trying to say.
connoisseur, CONAS,
I think
CON,
it's I
CONO,
think it's UN.
CONO, CONO, sour, SAUR, connoisseur,
I
sour.
think it's CONNEUSSER.
No, doesn't seem. I don't think so. I think it's what I said. So just to be clear,
Would that be
uh,
a Quibi show? Is celebrities trying to spell stuff? Is that worth 8 minutes of your life?
absolutely pitch that. Nobody else repeat that. Mark has to pitch that. Nobody say. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, I'll stay
Uh,
here.
Mythduster said, "Would you ever think of live streaming with Chris Stuckman or Jeremy Johns in the future?" I worked with both of them at Screen Junkies Plus. I don't speak to Stuckman very often. Not that I wouldn't. He's doing his own thing, and that's great. But Jeremy Johns and I stay in touch, and he's awesome. And I would love to live stream with him. I would
Yeah,
be
they're
lucky
both
to
great
live stream
live.
with either of them, but
Mhm.
Jeremy Johns is a friend of mine, so probably that would be more likely. Are you close? Do you know either of them? I know you know Jeremy.
Yeah. I'm buds with both of them. If you want to get Jeremy to do your show, then your opener should do some sort of reference to California Pizza Kitchen because it's like his favorite restaurant. So if you dangle the CPK carrot in front of him and then maybe you back it up with the Chipotle chicken pizza, you've congratulations, you've just booked Jeremy to do your show.
Wait, it's so crazy how CPK is so involved in our lives. Isn't that where all of those guys? Isn't that where Brett, Christian,
Right.
that's where
Yeah.
they all met, right? Right.
I think Riley, yeah, and Christian and I actually started really becoming buddies at over CPK lunches of all places in Burbank. The CPK that I think it's still there, that's right near where Collider is. But this was years before Collider. Is that him and I would just like go there? I don't know, once or twice a month and just get lunch and kind of shoot the shit. And then that's where our own kind of endeavors sort of evolved from there too. But yeah, him, Brett, Riley, all worked at that CPK in
I
like the
think
year
Brett met
2000.
his wife there. Did I make that up?
I think he did. I think he did.
CPK very important to our community.
Yeah, it's vital to every community. It should be, and especially people like Jeremy or maybe Chris who come here for a little bit to work and then they leave. They get a taste of CPK, and then they're like, God, I need that. I don't know what it was about that California kitchen, but I need more of that in my life. And
Just to be 100% clear, Mark Ellis, do you believe that CPK is only in California?
No, I know it's other places,
Okay.
but I think isn't it a little regional?
It's definitely in Boston. So I don't
Is it
know.
really?
Yeah. We grew up we had
Oh,
CPK
wow.
stuff.
I was thinking Mellow Mushroom because Mellow Mushroom is only in certain towns across the United
What's
States.
Mellow Mushroom?
Oh, Roxy, if you're ever in Arizona, Phoenix to be exact, Tempe, or if you're in Nashville, and then there's a few other Mellow Mushrooms around the country, and it's usually in like a college kind of town, but they don't have any in Southern California, and it is such good pie, great appetizers, good salads, a lot of beers on tap. It's heaven. It's
It
literally heaven.
sounds like a dispensary. Yo, come over to Mellow Mushroom,
They
dude.
do have kind of like a weed vibe about them. They don't offer any pot in their menu, but they do have like a hey, it's a very hippie kind of place.
I'm a very hippie kind of gal. I'm
Yes,
surprised
you
I
are.
haven't gone there. All right, I want to go into the Streamlabs because we have Patreon and Streamlabs questions for Mark and comments and stuff like that. After the stream yesterday, Weston Ira said definitely considering sending a much, much more club-like stunner next time. I think that's in regards to the fact that I live by myself, so I sleep with a knife next to my bed just because I'm scared crapless during this time. So he sent me a stun gun, but I fucked it up because I thought it was a flashlight. So there is that story.
So wait, did you stun anybody by accident?
It was
yourself?
it was it was like the scariest moment ever. I got the package, I didn't know what it was and was like, "What's this?" And then like hit the button and dropped it because it started like it made a like a really loud noise, and there was a bunch of people around. This was prior to even anything going on. It was like the week that we were going on lockdown. I was at AfterBuzz TV when I hit it because that's where he sent it to, and it flipped everyone out, and I dropped it. I think it works. I just am scared of my own power with it. Scary shit.
I've seen it. I've seen those things up close because one time there was like, when you're hanging out on the Comedy Store patio late at night, there's a lot of people that will just roll up and like try to sell you random stuff. And this guy, his nickname was Monkey Bones, and he just used to have this like crazy random shit he tried to sell people. And one time he brought a taser around, and we're like, "How much for the taser?" And he said $40. And so a bunch of us put our money together, put our cash together because we wanted to buy a taser. The reason why we wanted to buy the taser is because one of the comics said that he would be willing, if we bought the taser, to get tased. And so we bought it, and then we tased his thigh, and he went straight down like a sack of rocks. It was just one of the all-time great laughs that you can't replicate those kind of memories, Rob.
How much would you have to get paid
to be tased?
Yeah.
Oh, I would go. I think I could talk somebody into $1,000. I wouldn't do it for less than $1,000. They could probably talk me down to like 800 if they had the taser there and like ready to do this. But let's put a cool 1,000 on it.
I honestly think I have the same number. Because
okay.
I don't want to say, if somebody says, "I'll give you $1,000 to tase you," and you say no, like you really respect yourself too much.
Right. Now, look, if the World Girls want to do a taser practice and they need a human dummy to do the tasering, then because I'm going to get tased by all three of y'all, then I'll probably charge $5,000 for that.
We should do a World Girls give tasering a whirl. Oh my God, that's fucked up.
I'm writing season 2 for you.
Yeah, you are. You've pitched 3 episodes and they're all gold. Glenn Caesar in here says, "Hey, Roxy and Mark, happy Monday to you both. Thank you both again for virtually hanging out with us today. These daily live streams are certainly a great distraction in these crazy times, as laughing helps a lot. So thanks for bringing the funny." And then he says part 1 of 2. Okay, part 2 says, I love a good 2-parter. Anyhow, I'm looking forward to today's show. Mark, do you have any movies, TV shows, or comedy specials, yours included, that you'd recommend watching to make us laugh or lift our spirits and help pass the time? Love ya. #RockstarsBand. #BabyCarrots. So including yours, then yours. I mean, push that.
I'll throw mine into the hat, but one of my friends, Eliza Schlesinger, just came out with a new sketch show.
Oh, I can't wait to watch. Everybody's talking about this right now. I can't believe you're her friend. I'm like such a stan of hers. Holy crap. Every time you talk about that, I like kind of freak. But everyone's talking about how awesome this is.
Yeah, she's the best. And she was also really good. Speaking of Boston accents, she has a really funny Boston accent in Spencer Confidential, which also was just on Netflix. I think it came out 3 or 4 weeks ago with Mark Wahlberg, and she plays his sort of ex-girlfriend-ish in the movie, and her Boston accent. I texted her when I was watching it, and I was like, you and me need to do a Boston accent off, because both of ours are very funny in different ways. Hers is a little bit better than mine, but I think mine works better to Star Wars.
Yours is excellent, and that bit that you sent me was hysterical. I'm so sad that I wasn't there in person. That sucks. Glenn also, so I guess it's a part 3, said, "Most importantly, Roxy, I hope everything went well or goes well with Papa's appointment at the doctor's today. Thank you. I'll keep you guys posted." He says, "Depending on when the appointment is, either way, much love, hugs, and positive vibes to you, Grammy and Papo." Do you remember, Mark Ellis? How do you spell Papo? Go.
Poppo.
Yes.
I'm not going to mess up twice.
That's amazing.
Twice. And just because it is a perfect segue into this, I think you are such a wonderful human being for taking care of your grandparents the way you do, for honoring what they have been through in their lives and what they've been through together. 72 years of marriage. Roxy, I'm not making it. I've been, the longest relationship I've been in is like maybe 2 years and a month. And they're 72. They're beating me by 70 years.
I know. The crazy part is, I was thinking about this. If I got married tomorrow, which looks like it's not happening, but even if I did, I wouldn't be married for 72 years. Like, even if I got on the damn thing tomorrow. Other crazy part, Grammy's first was Papo. Like that, they're like, that's crazy to me. I'm like, it's the only man you've ever been with. It's so wild. Like, the long, I just spilled her tea over here, but that's a long, very like traditional, holy crap, it worked relationship.
You know, I think I'm probably in the same mold as Grammy then, because once I find something that I like, I kind of just stick with that. Like I still have my Game Boy with Tetris in it, and that's the only game I play in my Game Boy. Obviously, I still drink my iced tea every morning, which I've done for years. And I think that maybe once I find my female Papo, then I'll probably just be good with that forever. I think the key for me is going outside or making any sort of effort to date anyone, which currently has eluded me by choice. I'm so lazy, and I'm so content with my little, fortress of solitude that I have set up that I don't know why I'd risk changing that.
Any quarantine dating, I know that people are doing like a quarantine swiping right now. Any quarantine love happening in the Mark Ellis world?
None to report yet, Roxy. And I'm not really sure how people are doing it on the dating apps, because it's like, I guess you could start meeting somebody and flirting, or maybe even doing like sexting or like, FaceTime or whatever. But first of all, I'd be very hesitant to put any part of my body that you're not currently looking at on camera going into the interweb for somebody else's pleasure, because that's not the only person watching it. So that's going to be a hard pass for me.
I feel you on that. Also, I'm not very good at sexting in general. I was caught sexting with somebody when I was 12 years old by my mom, and we were instant messaging sexting. And there's something about a pizza delivery man and the stars, and like I have to paint too clear of a picture of our atmosphere, what's going around, before I can get into the actual sexting. So she thought I was telling us a nice story about what was happening. So, it kind of scarred me for a long time. I don't think I'm much of a quarantine dater myself.
No, I'm not much of a sexter either. Like I encourage it. If that's your thing, then go for it. And if somebody wants to sext with me, I will welcome any of the texts that are incoming. Just be prepared for whatever hot erotic thing you write me. It's going to get replied to with sounds neat. This is fun. I'm enjoying this time.
You got to switch over to like, It's like a nice, easy response, like, just a bunch of M's, M-H, M-M-M, or this is a good one, tell me more.
Yeah, keep going.
Use more words. Yeah.
Bring it along.
You've got this. Continue, please. I'm like, no, it's not my game. Garth Harkness McMurray says, yuck one. Noun, verb, yucked, yucking. Slang noun 1, a loud, hearty laugh, a joke evoking such a laugh. Verb used without object. Verb used with object, to laugh or joke. Also, yuck yuck is a national comedy club chain in Canada since 1976.
It's where Jim Carrey cut his teeth. Yeah, Jim Carrey started doing the open mic at Yuck Yucks, I believe, around Toronto. There's like 4 or 5 that are north of the border. That's the premier comedy chain in Canada. There's also there's another great club up there called the Comedy Corner, and they have a few of those spread around Canada. So it's just such a great comedy scene up there, and all the people up there are just great comedy audiences. So
I've never been to Canada, but I love Canada already.
I think you'd have a blast up there. First time I went was for TIFF, and I got to do like some stand-up gigs in between, and then I went back up there just to do stand-up with my friend Eliza, and it was it's always so much fun being up there.
Can't believe she's your friend. You should share your friends more often. Anonymous says, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. I hate to ask this question, but money is important these days. I don't think I've received my refund from Ellis's comedy show in LA from March. Was I supposed to do something, or does it take much longer? Is that okay that I just asked you that?
That's a good, no, it's fine. I think that people, because I've seen people DM me that saying that they did get a refund. So if you haven't DM'd me already, hit me back up and I'll get you in touch with the booking agency that does it. It's not through me. Like I'm not the one selling the tickets. I'm just the idiot on the poster. So I'll get you in touch with the right people. And that's one of the like real bummers of this thing. Just for me, I know that a lot of people are going through a lot worse, but we were gonna have a really fun show. It was the fastest I'd ever sold a show out in LA, and it was like a 350 seater theater. So we'll get it back up, and if you still have your tickets, they'll be honored then. But if you want a refund, I totally understand, and I'll hook you up.
I do think that at least we are like building anticipation and excitement for the future. It's not like the world's shut down forever. So the only positive thing is we're going to appreciate these things so much more when we're not on quarantine. Like whenever that show does happen, just imagine how many more guffaws.
There you go. See, your instincts are right. You just need the confidence to follow through with it. So just guffaw. You had it. It was
how
right
many
there.
more guffaw you're gonna get when we're done from quarantine. She got there. Brandy Parker says, always good to see more Ellis. All the love to both of you. Thanks, Brandy. Tim Koskuba says, what's up, Roxy? What's up, Ellis? When the world goes back to normal, gotta come down to Charleston to stand up. I'm scouting potential venues for you. I'm moving in with my lady in 10 days. Any advice for a first timer living with a significant other?
Okay. I can give a lot of advice for living with a significant other. First of all, get in there, and if you've already like spent the night together, which you probably have, make sure that you claim whatever side of the bed you want. Now,
Very important.
A very nice guy. I will defer to the lady, but if the lady doesn't have a preference, get on the side that you want and sleep there, and that's your side, because I have a very specific side that I like. That again,
which one?
I will defer if needed.
What's yours?
I like to sleep if you're looking
at the bed.
If you're looking at the bed, it's to the right side. I'm bed left.
Oh my God.
So I'm bed left.
You and I are a perfect match, Mark. Looking at the bed, I'm the left side. Left side, okay. Strong side. Looking at the bed, left side. Must.
Okay, now, are you a back sleeper? Because recently I've started enjoying sleeping on my side. So I'm actually in good spooning position for a partner that does not exist, and I don't really want to exist. So I'm spooning over this way is the way that
I'm a side sleeper, and I sleep my face sleeps away from the bed center. Okay. So not towards the center, away from the center.
Okay, good. Then we're in good spooning. We're in spooning realm then.
It's a really good thing that we can practice this during quarantine. Just digital spooning. Yeah. Maybe I'll put your face next to mine. Good night, Mark.
You know what? We'll get our spooning game worked, and then while the quarantine is going on, Roxy, I encourage you to get all of your clam chowder desires out now, so we don't have to deal with it once we're allowed back in close contact.
Honestly, no promises. No promises. I can't follow through on that one. Cousin Vinny says, apparently, I guess that's the only advice we're giving to first time living. Just make sure you know your side of the bed.
No, flush and use as soon as the thing's done, flush. Even if you think there's more coming, it doesn't hurt to flush 2 or 3 times. And what I would recommend is this stuff Poopery, which you actually spray before you go.
Poopery is genius. That woman made like legitimately $14 million in her first year of her company or whatever it is. That stuff is crazy. Yeah. Who is it? Was it Trump who says he flushes the toilet 20 times every time he goes? Have you heard that? Okay.
It's the best shit. There's some say, not me, others have said it's the best shit.
Some people say it's a huge shit. I just say it's a normal shit. Cousin Vinny says, so apparently Marsha Ambrosia sang is that how you say that? Sang the crimey parts in JT's Crimea River. give her checks anyway, since you both are big music people. What albums would you give each other to give one another a peek into their soul? Who's Marsha Ambrosius?
That's
Ambrosius.
I believe they took power after Marcus Aurelius was felled, but before the fall of Rome is going to be my official answer.
That does make sense. It's crazy that all the way back then is when the Crimea River parts came to be, and JT just jacked them from there.
He was the biggest philosopher in Rome.
What's your album to look into your soul?
So I'm giving you an album.
I guess so.
That will
describe you
a window into me. Mm-hmm. It'd be hard to not take the one over my right shoulder. But I would probably give a Beatles record. I'd probably do one of the later Beatles' records. I'd probably do like Abbey Road or the White Album. Or if I was going to give a Van Halen record, I'd probably give Van Halen 2, because it's got some really great hard rock tunes on there, but it also has my favorite Van Halen song, which is Dance the Night Away.
All right, I'm seeing your soul now. I always talk about this album, but to me, it's one of the most perfect albums of all time. And I feel like the reason you love an album so much is because it connects to your soul. So Rumors is like, to me, just it's a perfect album. And so much love and loss and hurt and beautifulness.
It's fantastic. And the deeper you get into the making of that record, you have so much more appreciation for how the hell they were all able to get into the same studio to finish this thing and to make it the quality it was. But then you also think, well, maybe Rumors would not have been
the quality. I know,
emotional if they weren't going through that stuff. That's the conundrum of life, Roxy, is that if you want to be a great artist, you want to be a great singer or songwriter or comic, you have to go through some trials by fire in order to get there. You can't just sit in your apartment and play Nintendo Wii Golf. As much as I'd love to do that for the rest of my life, you got to get out there. You got to take a risk with dating. You got to go skydiving. Do something that's going to get you out of your comfort zone, because that's what makes the best art, unfortunately.
I know. I connect to that. So now you see my soul. I see yours. We do have more. I don't know how long you can be with me. Can we push 15 extra minutes?
Absolutely.
You're okay? Okay, good. Because we've got Patreon questions for you and more stuff going on in the Streamlabs also. But going to the Patreon, so people who are in the $10 tier and up get to ask all of our guests a question who come on. So I want to start with Caleb Ochoa, who says, will the Cowboys-Redskins rivalry ever be as great as it once was, or will the Cowboys continue to dominate the Deadskins?
Okay, it's far from domination, but they've gotten the better of us the last few years. As far as will the rivalry ever be what it once was? No, because I don't think the teams are quite as in the forefront as they used to be. I think a lot of the younger kids now are fans of players, even in the NFL, definitely the NBA, but I think that bleeds over to the NFL more so than the team. I think it's a good thing. I think empowering players to become free agents and to allow them to dictate where their own career takes them is very important, and I think it's the right thing to do. But it does come at the expense of cheering for your hometown team. So I think Redskins-Cowboys is always going to be a great storied rivalry, but it's never going to get back to where it was in the 70s and 80s.
I've never heard anybody refer to it as Deadskins. Is that your guys? Is that the insult for you guys?
It's one of the many, yes.
Oh, so, that's like your Deflategate. Anytime, cheater. I heard you.
Usually, when somebody says if somebody hears I'm a fan, their first instinct is to just say sorry, which I understand. But I also look, Rox, you know that I don't have a problem living in the past, and we've got 3 Super Bowl championships that meant a whole lot to me when I was a very little kid. So I'll take those. And if that's all I ever get, then I'm good with it.
You hold on to those, Mark. You hold on to those. Charles J. Clark says, is there a Star Wars moment that makes you laugh every time you see it? With those yuck.
So I saw Rise of Skywalker in theaters, I think 5 times, and Babu Frick made me giggle every time. I love that character.
That's awesome.
And
I like that you saw it 5 times.
Biston the Space Monkey fan. So even though it's a serious movie, Rogue One is like a super serious, film, but seeing Fist and the Space Monkey get super excited after he shot a stormtrooper out of a helicopter, that was pretty cool.
I liked your text that you sent to me after Rise of Skywalker. I don't know if you even remember it.
I drink a lot. What was it?
This is what you texted me. You said, because I loved Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, it kind of was. It was like, because we were receiving some internet hate for our love for it. You're like, you're good. Ken and I are going to grab a drink if you need a Rise of Skywalker support crew.
Yeah, I remember that night because I think that was right before that might have been the Thursday or Friday night the movie came out, and just based on The Last Jedi, which was so polarizing for so many people, I just wanted to let people know it's okay to like a movie, and if you like it and you don't feel comfortable talking about it with whoever you're currently hanging out with, that Ken Knapsack and I will form a safe little community around you. Not that we're trying to dissuade people from having a healthy debate about it, but sometimes if you like something, you just want to hang out with somebody else who likes the same thing.
It doesn't always feel okay to like things, and that's so strange. Like, why would society not make you feel good about liking something? It's so much more fun to like something than dislike something. That's a whole different freaking debate, but I appreciated the text message greatly. Also, shout out to James McGill, who says, love you, Roxy. Mark, you're okay, I guess.
I'll take it.
Very solid assessment of the situation. Mark, you are okay, I guess. Johanna Check says, you've both gotten me through some of my worst days and will always be super thankful. Could my puppy Sunshine get a shout out for his first birthday? Isn't Sunshine the name of the guy in Remember the Titans? Remember the Titans been trending all day as like one of the best sports movies. Isn't that the name of the guy with the blonde, long hair? They go, Sunshine.
Yeah. His nickname is Sunshine. Sunshine is also an Aerosmith song. On which album, Roxy?
I don't know. I can't name a single band member or album or song when you ask me about it. I don't know. What's the album?
Just Push Play, and it's got Sunshine on there. It's got Fly Away. It's got the song Just Push Play. It's a later era Aerosmith record. Check it out, y'all.
Oh God!
I should have given you an Aerosmith record for my one to bear my soul. So I will take back my Van Halen and my Beatles, and I will give you Get a Grip. I think that Get a Grip is the best record for Roxy because it's got, again, you want a ballad like Amazing or maybe even Crazy a little bit. You want Crying because in case, God forbid, something goes wrong with our spooning quarantine, then it's like a good breakup song.
That would be the most aggressive if spooning didn't go well and you started playing Crying. That is an aggressive move.
Hey, I am that petty. If spooning doesn't happen in the bedroom, I'm walking out to the living room and I'm blasting Crying.
I am so glad that my dad does not listen to a single thing that I do. He does not care when I talk about sex, drugs. He doesn't care. But if he heard the lack of ability for me to answer Aerosmith trivia questions, he would be so bummed. Like that would be a legitimate, don't you care about me at all?
Yeah.
Didn't you follow anything?
What's your Patreon tier for getting to have like dinner with your dad? Because I will pay that sum right now.
I should do that.
You can pay me for free.
You'd have to get to Massachusetts right now. This is because my sister has been staying somewhere else with her roommate. She was like, hey, can I come hang? And he was like, no, like we're in lockdown, but 24/7 Stryer cannabis drive-through, come by anytime, I'll throw a bag of weed into your car. That was my dad's legitimate, like, here is me being a great parent right now. This is what I can offer you. No, you cannot come in, but I will throw a bag of weed at you.
Hey, he sounds like the coolest uncle that somehow got roped into being a father too. So I fully support.
It is legitimately that, and I couldn't be more lucky. It was just I could not be more lucky. I wouldn't have it any other way. She texted me. She's like, I should take him up on that, right? And I was like, duh. Go get you your bag. Go through the Stryer drive-through, of course.
We all do what we can to get by.
J-Dog says, wasn't Sunshine by Aerosmith in a car ad? I don't remember that.
Are you sure it wasn't Fly Away? It was one of those. but I vaguely remember the car. There's so many classic rock songs now that are just taken over because, especially with Aerosmith too, Sweet Emotion was selling the hell out of either like Nissans or something recently. So
Yeah.
rock and roll and cars, they tend to go together. Historically, it's a good pairing.
I don't remember, but I remember hearing Sweet Emotion recently. I don't remember what it was for. Obviously, I don't, because any kind of trivia I will not get. Donnie A says, who is on your personal Mount Rushmore of comedians?
Ooh,
we're making you work today, Mark.
Yeah, this is rough. Pryor,
I'm so sorry.
And Carlin. Pryor's definitely on there. I would probably put Joan Rivers on there. I would put maybe Carlin would be my third, and then I would put Lenny,
who is a marvelous Mrs. Maisel character, just to be clear.
Yeah, that could be your homework. There's a movie called Lenny that Dustin Hoffman plays Lenny Bruce in it, and it's pretty good.
I figured it was an Of Mice and Men spinoff.
Poor Lenny. So yeah, that's my Mount Rushmore.
Damn, you had that answer. Good job.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Garth McMurray says, Mark, what methods do you use to work on your stand-up comedy? Do you audio record your sets to take notes? Do you rework jokes at all the time? Do you test jokes on fellow comedians, friends, family, etc.?
Glad you asked. Let me see if I can find one for you. Okay, so this is one, like late at night, I'll come up with these. So I have no idea what this is because they're all labeled like the way that voice memos work is it just labels wherever you are. So it's just labeled the street that I live on. So okay. Let's do a quick one here.
You get a little hoodie to cover it up, and you have a costume. I mean, you're gonna compensate. If you lose your face, if you lose the skin off your face, you're gonna compensate, and you're probably gonna get a gym membership and a hoodie.
Wait. That was about that was an add-on to a bit that I came up with about Skeletor. Incidentally, I posted that on Instagram and Twitter this morning. So I just thought it was so funny that Skeletor doesn't have a face. And so instead of people saying, why does he have muscles? I'm like, no, he should have muscles because when guys lose their hair, they join a gym. And you see a lot of bald, ripped guys. So imagine how hard you'd work out if you lost your face. So you would join a gym and you'd wear a hoodie. That's the play. Skeletor is doing it right.
It's a good thing you explained it because otherwise my mind was wandering, what the is he talking? Who's losing their face? What did he do?
That's the thing is a lot of them are like boom, boom, boom. So it's like machine gun style. So I'll come up with an idea and I'll talk it out for a minute and then I'll hit stop. And then 10 seconds later, I'll get an add-on to it. And I'm like, oh, then this too. And so I have to keep going back and recording. So like any one joke probably has like 17 different recordings of me kind of piecing an idea together.
Do you think if like, I don't know, Christian Harloff or Danny Fernandez or one of the people who has ever been closest in your life went missing and the police were investigating you and they went through your voice memos, you'd be in big trouble?
Yeah, because with stand-up, you're usually complaining about the people in your life. And because it's fun. Sometimes it's just funnier to complain about people. Even if you love them dearly, you want to complain about that one thing they do that annoys the hell out of you. And so if you were to watch anybody's stand-up special, and then something happened to their significant other, then you would be a prime suspect just because of look at the hour of material. Yeah. It's like Basic Instinct. The Basic Instinct is a guy gets killed with an ice pick, and that's very similar to how somebody gets killed in Sharon Stone's novel. And so they think that she's the one that did it.
I think that you'd be really screwed. Tell everybody close in your life to be careful so that you don't end up in jail when they search your phone.
Nobody died at the hands of an ice pick because that's a bit I'm working on.
Yeah. Weston Ira says, yo, Carrix, doesn't sound like you need to do anything more than charge the stunner. It's probably not broken. It's supposed to be scary. I posted a video in your Discord of various stunners being demonstrated on a dude. Use the force. I'm so afraid of my own abilities. Like a lot of people during this time, I don't know if anybody's talked to you about this, maybe because I'm like a small person. A lot of people told me I need to get a gun during this time, that we could be like experiencing an apocalypse and people might come and like come for me. And first of all, I have nothing to give. I live in a little 1-bedroom. You couldn't, I mean, if you took every single thing in here, you would have $1,000, maybe, like all combined together. So I mean, you would have to carry out my couch for that money. But also, I would injure myself, I think. Like, I don't think this is a good time for me to be like, I'm all of a sudden going to purchase a gun. And one of my friends was like, you can get a little pink one. And I was like, that's not going to help. Me having a little pink gun. That's not the color of the gun was not the problem. I'm the problem. I don't trust myself. I would be like, I've never shot a gun before. I've never been to a shooting range. Is that even what's called? A gun range? A driving range? No, that's called.
You can put your golf club in one hand, gun in the other. Have fun with it. I've never shot a gun in my life, and I feel like I'd be the guy that if I had a gun by my bed and an intruder broke in, I'd probably be the guy that gets the gun taken from them by the intruder, and then the intruder has just been gifted a free weapon courtesy of my own dumbass.
That's me.
I trust myself a lot more. I have a baseball bat that I sleep next to, so I trust myself a lot more with a baseball bat.
That's why I feel kind of confident with my knife. I feel like I could knife somebody. I don't feel like I could shoot something. I feel like I couldn't do. I got a lot of aggression. I could really like gut somebody.
If I was you, I wouldn't open with the knife. I would also sleep with like a baseball bat or something that you can, like the knife would be the last resort, because if somebody's coming at you and they see you have a knife, their first thing is to try to take the knife. So if you give the facade of like, oh, I have a baseball bat, if somehow, God forbid, they get the baseball bat, they think they've won, they relax, and then here comes Roxy. Boom, right in the ribs.
That's pretty good. If I had the knife, though, I wouldn't show them I had the knife. It would be like a, hey.
Okay. Yeah. They think they're breaking into a one-armed woman's apartment.
I'm still working on it. We'll see how that goes for me. Hopefully never. Oh, Gingerbread says, did Mark just equate him regularly drinking iced tea to your grandmother's 72-year devotion to one man? Mark, LOL, no. I don't know if you answered this already, Roxy, but you're planning to do movie commentaries a la Pretty Much It. I don't think that's what you were doing, but also if you were, I will say Grammy and Papa drink a lot of iced tea. But they like Arnold Palmer's. They're a big Arnold Palmer duo.
Arnold Palmer from, you guessed it, Wake Forest University. He didn't graduate. He played 3 years, then he joined the PGA Tour, which I would have done too.
Good enough.
I think that what I was doing is I was comparing the best relationship in Grammy and Papa's life is their relationship with each other. My greatest relationship in my years on this planet has probably been with Ice-T. So that was the comparison.
I don't know about the commentaries part. I am having crazy internet issues where I'm connected to a hotspot for this. Mark, it's been a whole saga, but people moved into the front house. I live in a back house. They got Wi-Fi. They canceled my Wi-Fi. So I physically have no Wi-Fi right now. Who knew they could fucking do that? I called Spectrum. They won't send somebody out during this. So I'm just like waiting out the storm of using a hotspot. So I can't stream two things on my hotspot at once. So I can't do commentaries right now because I can't watch something and stream at the same time. It's been a whole fucking thing. So I'll keep you posted, Gingerbread. Sansa in here says, I feel like your dad would genuinely love Mark. I know you guys are just friends, but I think you should make your family happy and marry Mark. LOL. Mark, you want to have a friendship marriage with me just so you can meet my dad? That's the Patreon tier. You've got to propose and then you can meet him.
Well, yeah, that was kind of that was why I was okay. You guys found out I was going to meet with Roxy's dad to ask her daughter's hand in marriage, and then how long do we have to stay together so we can keep all the wedding gifts? Is it like a year?
I think 1 full year you get to keep everything. If it's shorter than a year, you got you kind of got to return some stuff, and I want to keep the gifts.
Well, look, here's what I'd like to do.
Mhm.
I want to go 65-35. I get 65% of the actual money. And the reason why is because I feel like you'd get a lot more use out of the gifts, like
Oh, I am okay with that. I love a good blender.
Okay, good.
I need the kitchen stuff.
Okay.
But we're gonna have to figure out what we're putting on the registry because, like, I could really use a new knife set because of all of them that I'm keeping next to my bed.
All the intruders that are going to take the knife from you.
Yeah. Will a pink little gun be part of our wedding registry? It's just a tough call these days what you put on there.
This wedding is going to be so much work, but you know what, Rox? It's worth it for you.
No, thank you. Thank you. And also, the part that I for sure agree with is my dad and you would get along swimmingly. The amount of rock and roll you would talk about is just disgusting and amazing at the same time. If you came to my house, okay, my entire house is lined with concert posters. Every inch is a concert poster. Like, I can't even explain. It's all, and most of them are concerts my dad promoted. And then other ones are ones that he like attended or just people that he loves. And they're fucking everywhere. I mean, there's hundreds of concert posters in our house. Insane. You would just walk around. He's so proud to show them. But none of my friends growing up wanted to see. Like, he's so proud. So anybody who like wants to walk around and look at the posters, he's like, it has stories for every single one. Crazy.
Do me a favor. Ask your dad next time you talk to him if he had anything to do with it or was in attendance for, I think it was like the concert on the Green. It was like an all-day festival concert, and Aerosmith was set to play before Van Halen. So it was Aerosmith, then Van Halen. And
what year was it?
I think it was late 70s. So like 79, 80, maybe it was 80 because Van Halen was pretty big by that time. So Aerosmith was going to park like this Aerosmith decked out VW bus on like some hilltop. And then Van Halen heard that. So Van Halen was hiring a tank that after Aerosmith set was going to steamroll the VW bus. And when Aerosmith found out about it, they decided to not do the bus at all. So that's just a story that I heard. Just ask him.
All right, I will ask him. I'm legitimately going to ask him about that. I am sure he has an answer for what he's heard about it. That's crazy. We are getting out of here soon, so I do want to get a couple of these last ones in here. Vinny, original 151, says, finally made it to a day stream. Hope you're both doing well. Thanks. I appreciate you. You rock. One of my amazing mods. You're incredible. Also, Myth Duster says, my comedy Mount Rushmore would include Robin Williams, Charlie Chaplin, Eddie Murphy, Lucille Ball, Buster Keaton, John Candy, and Bill Cosby. I think that's too many for Rushmore. I think you've got some like Siamese twins going on. Is that a not PC term? As I said, it didn't sound right.
I think Siamese twins is still okay for probably next year. We'll get rid of that one.
Okay.
But I think that your comedy Rushmore should be allowed to have like 10 figures on it because, to be fair, we've had a lot more great comics than we have great presidents.
Do you think that there's ever going to be a world in which Rushmore changes president faces?
Who would you put on? So it's Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Teddy, right? So
sure.
I would put. If I had to put somebody else on there, maybe you put FDR on there next to him. Maybe just have Millard Fillmore down below. But no, I think they're pretty
up there.
set with that.
They're pretty set. You never know though. Changes can always happen. Haskell says, "Hey Mark, who's leading in wins, Dave or Sammy? I don't understand this question."
So those are the two lead singers of various eras of Van Halen. And so on my Nintendo Wii Golf, I made two me characters. I made David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar. And so now they're dueling each other in my own golf game that is ongoing. So currently, Diamond Dave is 31 under par and Sammy is 20 under par, but Sammy's up next. So Sammy has 9 holes. So he's gonna try to catch Dave, and I'll keep everybody updated because I know you're all waiting with bated breath.
I'm rooting for Dave. Sorry, Sammy can suck it.
Wow.
Sorry. Glenn says, it's not a question. Just wanted to say thank you, Mark, for improvising off of Roxy's People from Boston Are the Best song from Collider Live, specifically from Watertown, home of Ellis Pond, where they cut a lot of ice and play some minor league baseball. Watching Roxy burst into uncontrollable laughter and joy was one of the best things I've seen on YouTube. Nobody ever liked to play with me. And so I was just so happy.
Well, we're working here in Watertown, and we're cutting all the ice on the pond. There you go.
This is a good jig. I've got rhythm. It is a really horrible stereotype. They say that Jews can't dance, and I definitely add to that. I've got 2 left feet, and I like to groove. Yeah.
Well,
Me trying to do TikTok. Oh God, it's not going well.
Just go ahead and prepare the conversion to Judaism, because that's what I need to be.
Well, you're just getting one step closer to meeting Michael Stryer every time we talk. Although he is an atheist, so who doubt he would even care. Let's get out of here. Mark, you have a ton of stuff going on right now. Tell everybody everywhere they can find you and all the things you're working on. What can they watch? Where can they go? Etc. Oh, I didn't even get to ask you about the trivia thing you've been doing.
So every weekday there's a trivia app called The Q. The Q Trivia is the name of the app. You can download it and thousands of people play along live. So I get to host it from the comfort of my own apartment, and it's so much fun because I get to perform like I'm performing, technically I'm performing for thousands of people watching it, but they're there to play trivia. You can win $50, $100, depending on what game it is, and it's real cash money, and you get to watch me host. So that's been
a time where nobody has money. You are giving away money. You're giving away money.
It's a little bit. Then I do my virtual bar trivia on my YouTube channel every Saturday night, and I'm posting, random stand-up clips that I have. And if you like any of those, you can check out my full Patreon page, which is $5 for new stand-up every month. And that's Patreon. It's Mark Ellis Live, like all the social media stuff. Thank you, Jake.
We got it. Jake Yakovets got you. Wow. I don't know. I have not had a Bud Light in a long time. Can I get in on that? Can next one be on you for me and Jake?
Totally, just be careful, because if you drink too much with Jake, and it doesn't become just light beers, it becomes whiskey shots. So
don't I know it? Don't I know it? Jake can drink us all under the table.
The world girls learn how to do whiskey shots. So I am way behind y'all, because I would have been coughing and probably puking by my 3rd whiskey shot. So
that was impressive, right? That was impressive, especially Steph, who had to take those 3 back to back to back. And that wasn't an editing trick. She took them all in under 30 seconds. It was crazy.
So impressive.
It was Steph savage.
She's awesome. Serena's great. Roxy, duh. And the bartender was pretty sweet too.
She was amazing. I would like Roxy Duh to now be how everybody addresses me, please.
Okay, that's going to be our new last name when the sham wedding happens. It's Mark and Roxy Duh.
Oh my God! Think of the hashtag we could create. It's so beautiful.
I'm gonna go on Squarespace and make our wedding website.
I'm so happy about that. Haskell 420 says, "Fun fact: I live on Ellis Avenue." LOL. Well, if he was making voice notes, they would all say Ellis, Ellis, Ellis.
That's right. Ed, make some voice
callback. Yeah,
see,
it was really good. Yeah,
you owned it. You were confident that you were using the right term for the right comedy moment. Congratulations!
I lost all confidence. Mark, I've already kept you 20 minutes over. I'm sorry for doing that, but I appreciate you being here. This is the amount of socialization that I and probably you get for the day, considering we're both solo dolos. So thank you for making my day and staying here longer with us. Also, everything that you're doing, you tweet out on Instagram too. So Mark Ellis Live, like it says down below. Isn't it cool that I can say that, or like point?
You're crushing the game. A lot of people are doing so many great different things with their own channels, with their own different streaming platforms. But it is an honor to finally pop my Live at the Roxy cherry. It's been a dream to perform at the Roxy forever, and I would love to come back anytime you'll have me. You're right. This is like, I just talked to another human being for over an hour. So even in the normal world, my words are done for the day, and I can clock out, and it's Miller time.
Immediately after this, you go put the chewed gum into the iced tea. You're going to do your own thing. Guys, tomorrow, Kate Mulligan is coming on the show. So I'm really excited about that. And on Thursday, Jeff Snyder is coming on. I've never had somebody ask me to come on the show in a more aggressive way than Jeff Snyder asked me. The entire text consisted of, when am I live at the Roxy, bitch? And I said, how about Thursday? And then he ghosted me for an entire week. And I said, hello, bitch. And he said, yes. So that's how we got to that place. It's a Boston v. Boston kind of love.
But yeah, he's got the hometown advantage. But I think that given that latest round of information, Michael Stryer, his favorite one of your cohorts is I'm probably higher on the list than Snyder as of right now.
Yep, as of right now. We'll see what happens when we eventually go to Boston for the Schmodown. I'm going to make him come out and we'll see how that goes.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
He's going to be like, what the fuck is this?
He can do the Q&A with me after my stand-up set. So,
oh my God, it would be amazing. So many thoughts.
It'd just be me asking him like old rock and roll questions. But hey, so if you're having Mulligan on the show tomorrow, yes. It's okay with me, but you have to clear with her too that you're cordially invited to Mulligan and I's next Wood Ranch date if you want to go. We do a Wood Ranch every so often, so if she's cool with it, then we're happy to make it a threesome this one time.
Wow, it's like really nice of you. I just want to be included during this time. I would love to. I'm going to ask her about it tomorrow. Thank you again, Mark Ellis. Everybody at home, we all clap together at the end. Makes us feel like a part of something. Love you a lot. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow, 1 p.m. live at the Roxy.